I can't wait to show you how I made these super cute and adorable Christmas trees. All right, and I will let you know later exactly where you can find all of the materials and supplies that you need so that you can make this super adorable set for yourself at home super easy. Okay, so today we are making the trees just like this in the green shades and plain, which honestly I think is beautiful to have a little forest of little green trees. But this is where the fun part comes in. So on this set over here, I totally went and embroidered and did a few different embroidery knots on them just to make them a little bit more fancy. And then this set over here, I had so much fun with my 5-year-old daughter, who we just pulled out all the glitter, all the sequins, all the gems, and just went to town having so much fun decorating these. So while some of them are a little fun and silly, I will keep these trees forever because of the fact that I made them with my daughter. So that was just super fun, little memory for us. But today we're gonna make the trees that are blank, and it just gives you a blank canvas to do whatever you want with them. Also, don't be afraid to do them in different color schemes. You don't have to do green. If you want to do a fun little purple tree set or pinks or, you know, rainbow colors or whatever, go nuts with your colors because it is endless with the amount of things that you could do with these. All right, let's go ahead and get into this so that we can actually go and make these trees. So, things you need for this project. Felt in 3 different colors, or real talk, you could use the same color if you really wanted to. Freezer paper stencils if you're hand cutting, or pre-cut trees if you're gonna use die cutting machines, or if you're going to snag a kit later maybe that has them already cut out for you. Wink, wink. So you need this, you need a glue gun, you need some scissors for hand cutting, you need an iron for your freezer paper stencils, some handy wood slices that I'm throwing, some wooden dowels. So on these little wooden discs, I went ahead and drilled a little hole in the bottom, not all the way through, I drilled it halfway, and I did the exact size of a wooden dowel. So these dowels I cut at different lengths, starting at 5.5 inches, 5 inches, and a 6-inch one. But you could literally change, if you're doing this on your own at home, you can literally cut these whatever lengths you want. First thing we're gonna wanna do though is we are going to glue in our dowels into our bases so that they're nice and sturdy and not wobbly. Whenever you're gluing wood to wood, best thing to use is wood glue. I'm gonna leave a link below to this exact version because I really like how it works. It dries clear, it's white, it's perfect for when you're doing your inside crafts. All right, so let's just do that now. We're gonna put just a tiny little bead. You really don't need a lot. Oops. Into our holes. I like to turn them so that way the glue is just really coating every little spot of it. Hold them just a little bit to set just a hair to get them to stand up straight. Also, you know, they're not perfect, which honestly I kind of like aesthetically because I mean, like, you're making a forest. Have you seen all trees grow perfectly straight? I don't know. I personally like the look of a little bit imperfect crafting and imperfect decor because I feel like it just gives a little bit more of a realism to it. And it just makes it more kitschy and eye-catching and more fun than just like, oh, perfection. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside so they can dry, and then we're gonna start prepping our trees. So you're gonna wanna make sure you do this step at least 30 minutes to an hour before you get started because it takes about 30 minutes to an hour for the glue to set enough to be rigid enough to do your crafting on. It'll take an additional 24 hours to set completely. So once you're all done with everything, just set them aside and make sure you're gonna decorate them the next day. Or if you're doing this with your kids, I would get them to this base level and then go ahead the next day and just get them all decorated with the kiddos. So we have these freezer paper stencils, and on one side it's the glossy waxy side, and then the other side is a very flat matte side that you can actually print on. So link to another video on how to print on freezer paper stencils if you want to go ahead and do this at home because it's so easy and amazing and helpful. I like to cut my stencils down so that they fit perfectly on our felt sheets, and it just makes cutting very easy peasy. So now you're gonna get your iron, and we're gonna put it on the high cotton setting, which I probably should have had that heating up. Also, it's really important to make sure you put a heat-safe surface underneath your ironing because you want to keep your surface safe. I just use a scrap piece of felt because it's a great conductor of heat, and it works good, and I have plenty of felt around my room, but if you have like an ironing board or ironing surface, go ahead and use that. So luckily it heats up pretty quickly, and we're just gonna go ahead and melt that wax into death. So now our freezer paper is stuck to our felt, but it is not permanent, and that is the fun of everything. All right, these are my favorite scissors. They're just big, they're nice, clean, big shears to make big, long cuts. Link below to get your exact pair, because I mean, everyone should have a really, really good pair of fabric scissors. Just don't let anybody else use your fabric scissors because they'll ruin them. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this out. That's why I love these stencils, is because they literally, you're cutting on the lines. Like, we are making this so easy for you to cut these trees out. I also definitely picked one of the easier trees to cut right now too. But they're really, really simple. And there's two other patterns. So each tree is a different tree pattern, which just makes it fun because, you know, you don't want every single tree to be exactly the same. And each pattern comes with enough of these stencils to cut out every single tree. So did that pretty quickly, pretty easy. With the other ones, just take your time around some of the more minute curves and whatnot, but I find this part relaxing. What I'll do typically is I'll throw down a lot of freezer paper stencils, and I'll, you know, go to soccer practice, cut them out while my kids are playing, or watching a movie, and cut. So that's me. We have our freezer paper stencil, it's all cut out, and then this is the fun part. You just peel it right off, and you have a perfect little Christmas tree. So for each one of these trees, we're gonna do 6 of each style. Ba-da-ba-ba! All done. You gotta love the YouTube magic, right? Next step you're gonna do, and this is the exact same step on each one of these trees. What we're actually gonna make is kind of like this open little tree skirt. So this is kind of what it looks like after we're done gluing, and then we're gonna stick it on our dowels. So this is the end goal. We're gonna line up all of the edges to make this shape. So we've got this one and then this shape too. Just like that. All right, so we're gonna grab one. We're gonna grab our hot glue gun. I also love my SureBonder glue gun because it's the best, especially this fun cordless one. Super handy. And then we're just gonna line these up and start gluing. I don't glue the entire tree. I try to do this in smaller sections because once the glue dries, then you have to remelt your glue, and then it's just more cumbersome. So I like to just do a little bit at a time. Glue seeps out. I kind of just pull it away with my fingers, but where you can use your handy dandy scissors and just cut off anything that pops out. Okay, so the first one's obviously the easy. You're just sandwiching 2 together and gluing on just one side. So the second one, I try to open this up just a little bit at the top, so because we're gonna put all the little tips kind of have to line up perfectly here. So we're gonna open it up. We're gonna keep on gluing. And we're gonna do right at this edge. Line it up and not glue your fingers down. Actually, I did the whole one because you can go a little bit faster. But if you're going a little slower, definitely take it a little bit slow. Gotta love it when I'm like, don't do all of it, and then I sit there and do all of it. Apparently, I am a bad teacher right now. If you do all of it, go quick. I'm also really impatient. I am a very impatient crafter. Like, I want things done now. I don't like waiting for things to dry. And I don't like taking more time than I need to. But I'll tell you right now, your stuff will turn out better if you take your time. So who is decorating for Christmas already? Because let me know in the comments. Normally I decorate right after Thanksgiving. It's like that Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I'm like, oh, Thanksgiving's over. Pull that stuff down. But slowly I'm trying to convince my husband to decorate a little bit earlier, because honestly, when you have the Christmas stuff up, it just brings so much joy. Like, there's something about the magicalness of Christmas that is magical. And if you're gonna put all this effort into decorating and making all these awesome crafts, you're gonna wanna see them longer, right? So be sure to comment and tell me when you guys start decorating and what's an appropriate time to decorate. Or are you guys the people that like leave a Christmas tree up all year round and decorate it for different holidays? Because that's super fun too. All right, and it's totally fine if it's all messy and gross on the inside because it's the inside and nobody's gonna see it. All right, there we go. Like make a little tip here. Okay, so we have our little tree skirt. And we're ready to go and start gluing these onto our dowels. So I've got 3 different sizes here. This glue has been sitting for about 15 minutes. It's a little bit, it's sturdy, I can lift them, they're straight and all of that stuff, but if you put a lot of pressure on these things, they will pop off really easy. So just be a little ginger with them while you're working with them, and then make sure you let them set for 24 hours before you actually go and do any of this decorating stuff. I would like to add, because I didn't say this earlier, if you're gonna embroider any of your trees, you need to make sure that you embroider them before you do this step. Because you know how in embroidery you have the back of your stitches, those all look super ugly and gross, and you need to hide them when you're gluing. So if you're going to embroider, make sure that you do that embroidery step right after you cut them and before you glue anything. Okay. So now we're gonna decide which tree goes on which size. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on my smallest one here. I'll push those out. To get started, what I do is I pick somewhere in the middle and put a bead of glue all the way down the middle. And then I'm not putting this all the way to the top, I'm putting it kind of down a little bit. So that way the top kind of covers it. As we loop this around, we can kind of like put our tree over the dowel. So we still have a nice pointy little cute little top. Okay, so we glued one down. Now we're gonna slowly pinch and put our leaves all the way around here. Be sure to do this part slowly because it can get a little cumbersome when you keep going quickly. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I'm literally like pinching and hitting that dowel again. So we're just making a nice clean edge here. Do it again. Okay, so on this side we've got a little bit more, so I'm actually gonna put some glue on here and kind of try to get all of these. We're gonna go slow. Put this on here. I'm gonna fold, rain down. Okay, so we kind of just fold and pinch and bring them in. We're just gonna really put a lot of pressure on that dowel and just kind of, and then this kind of helps bring your tree leaves, tree sides, we're just basically pushing them into the direction we want because we want this very balanced. You don't want like, you know, one side like this and whatnot. So we're just trying to really, really keep, while that glue is not quite solid, we're just really moving them around and getting a good, clean adherence. She'll love my vocabulary. All right. So now we're gonna find that one edge that's open and we're gonna put some glue on this edge just to finish it up. Oopsie. And then squeeze these tight and then line them up. Ta-da! We have a cute little tree. And then this is the fun. I would leave this and let it set for about 24 hours just so that that wood glue dries really, really well. But this is the fun part. You can put any sort of decoration on it. So I've put little pom-poms on them before. For the little tree topper, you can put a little star, or you can see we did glitter. And so this one is literally just like puffy paint with some sequins, and we've got like all sorts of just like, this is where you drag out all your kids' art supplies and you just go nuts and have fun with them. Let your kids help or go with your classy embroidery type. All right, now let's go ahead and do some YouTube magic on our last two trees. We're back with the YouTube magical trees. Because I mean, Christmas is magical, so therefore you have magical trees, right? Okay, so I finished gluing all of my cute little trees down. So this was super fun today, and if you wanna make this craft and make it way easier, link down below to my shop where you can find kits that have all of the materials ready to go for you. It'll come with all your felt sheets, it'll come with your dowels, it'll come with your wood slice bases. All you're gonna need to provide are scissors and all the glue and all the fun decorations that you're gonna do when you're done. All right, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can join me for my next crafting adventure. And also comment below with what color scheme that you're gonna do for your Christmas trees. And also if you're gonna decorate them, do you like the plain version? Do you like the embroidery version? Do you like the crazy glitter version? Just let me know, because I would love to know and I'd love more ideas because I mean, I have 2 sets of trees right here that I need to decorate.